if you can hear me or not. See who we got here. Oh my goodness. Cut it down back there. I know you can't hear me. If you can hear me over the loud feathered creatures back there, uh, we are live from our favorite place, your favorite place, maybe. Wrapping up the day in the garden. We'll see who checks in here. We'll do a walk around the garden. YouTube wants you to do stuff vertical now. I don't know why. But we'll roll with it. It's easier to hold the phone that way. I'll give them that. And you don't cover up the mic. And so I guess there's advantages to doing the vertical placement. But after so many years of being used to horizontal, it's like, it's kind of weird. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see who checks in here. I hope everybody has gotten an opportunity to pour one out for the fallen and said your respects and for the honored dead. Hope everybody's taking a minute to do so. And then enjoy the rest of your day. Sure, that's what they would want. Like acknowledgement, and then let's move about things and go enjoy our day, since it is such a designated holiday, and enjoy yourselves. Hopefully, we're having I think a thunderstorm's trying to roll in, but it's not really. It's like over the shoulder, but it's not that big a deal. How can I see the chat? Seems like it's okay. Nobody's chatted yet. Can anybody hear me? It's concerning if nobody is commenting. Looks like we got people in here. Somebody give me a thumbs up or something. Goodness. Yep, I should be transmitting on the audio scale. Am I not seeing something? Yo, says Tony. What's up, Tony? All right. I guess yo means you can hear me. I hope you avoided those tornadoes out there your way, Tony. I saw you had quite the spate all through Missouri, the Ozarks, stuff like that. Hope it dodged your casa. But so we got some people in here real quick. The garden rundown. Let's so today we planted squash over here in this line, 2 different types of squash. Planted some more over here and over here. More up. We got lots of sun over here in this line. Pumpkin around. Just trying to get some more of that up. Squash day, I guess. A lick of my carrots have come up. I did carrots way back when, first day, and they have struggled. So I'm gonna have to clear this out and replant carrots again. Radish are looking good. Turnips are back there. Lettuce finally came up. I don't know if it's going to do good now that it's getting warm. I'm concerned, but the lettuce just now popped up. Beans, and I replanted some more beans to go with these guys. Beans here. So we planted some in the middle, so we'll have some offset growing. Not a lick of my zucchini has come up, much to my chagrin. And I planted a bunch of onions down at the ends, sets of onions down at the ends of these rows. So we'll be having that coming in. I had hoped when I started early and I kind of cleared everything out and watered and then cleared again, I was hoping that would keep my weed and grass problem down. And it has not done any of that. So been a continued struggle to try to keep the weeds out, grass. As soon as they touch water, it's like, oh, you thought you pulled all those out and there weren't more seed left? There's just seed after seed, whatever's, I guess just because we use manure, it's just loaded with all the stuff. And these guys love it though. There you go, guys. Cindy is with us. What is going on? And I think the ducks are flying in here and stealing seed too at certain times. So some of the stuff that's not come up, I think they may have, because they were having their way with the garden back in the winter. They think it's kind of their home. So the struggle is real. Managed to keep the rabbits out. So we got our tomato and peppers. I think I showed that off last time. What's up, 420? Hey, hey. The hiking, running fool, 420. Planted corn last week, and we don't have any coming up yet. So we'll see if we get some corn coming up. Now that we should definitely be past our last freeze, but I need to plant more down here, over here. We're gonna plant corn all the way around again. So that's kind of that. Oh, we had 2 volunteer squash plants there and over there. Those are volunteers. That's the only watermelon that survived the first planting. Oh, dang, Tony. The tornadoes leveled the resort? Oh, wow. That's not good in many different ways. Hope everybody got out unscathed, though, if nothing else. What's up, CPD? Working on motorcycles. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, I was working on Jeeps a couple months ago, if you may have saw. Uh-oh. Orientation. Sorry about that. Truth Freeze is in the house. What's up, Truth? But hopefully you have employment, I guess, is what to be concerned about now. I guess you might be busy cleaning up now, rebuilding. Goodness. But you're kind of in that area, right? It's probably something to really get used to when you're not from that area. Hola, Senor Lily. What is going on? Good to see you. Yeah, so, well, dang, Tony. Did you do a video on it? I've been kind of in and out this week. I haven't done much this week on the YouTube. I don't know if you've done anything on that or not. I'll have to check it out. I know, what's his name? Prepared Homestead did a post about it, I guess yesterday, or maybe it was this morning. I think did they roll through last night? Craziness. Keeping it simple: tomatoes, strawberries, flowers. That sounds pretty simple. I don't know if I could live off tomatoes and strawberries. But do what you can do. Every little bit helps, right? We've tried to plant strawberries like 3 times. And it's just never gets going. It's too hot once we get them in. Yeah, they just don't do good unless you really put them in right and get it going, I guess. So our strawberries have never been successful. But maybe I'll just trade with you I'll trade you some pumpkins for some strawberries. How about that? Does that sound good? Coyote. Oh, I guess we're gonna. Goodness. But Paris, how you doing? It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a minute. Chipper, what's up? All is well here. Tony's the one that most need of assistance, it sounds like. If anybody's looking for a running partner, talk to 420 Homestead. He has found his new hobby. Hey, what's up, Nickel? How you doing? I was going to talk about metals here in a little bit. Talk about a yo-yo, but in a good way, and kind of shocking the way things have developed here in the last couple of weeks. But hopefully everybody's got something in the ground. Hopefully everybody's got something they're planting, that they're growing, because I mean, it's just one of those things, like between specialization and variety going away, like you just may not be able to get what you want, and just having that little bit of variety is going to help you out in the long run. Nickel's not showing up. What do you mean? But 420's got his garden going too. He's already harvesting all kinds of stuff. He's definitely way ahead of me. I need to get some tips from you or something. You definitely grow better than I do, and it's hotter and drier where you are. So you're doing something that I'm not. Potatoes, right? Yeah, and I've never done good with potatoes either. And I haven't even planted any this year yet. That's so. Potatoes have really demotivated me. I don't know if that was the hardness of the ground below, or what, but I've never had potatoes do well. Oh well, you can do a winter garden 420. I showed you my spring garden, snow covered. Yeah, we don't have a winter garden around here. It's just get it in the months when you can. Like I showed you, we started that little bit early, and you know, got a little bit of success with the early planting stuff, but not really ahead of the game. It was say we got some good offset going though. We'll have some stuff rolling in with the pumpkins and watermelons early August, maybe late July, depending on how they develop. Once it gets hot, those watermelons really take off. Idaho's loaded in potatoes, right? I think they have an advantage where most of the potatoes, I think they got some volcanic soil going for them from way back. So I think that's an advantage they have, whereas we got a lot of sand here in the valleys in the Great Basin. A lot of sandy soil because it's that old lake bed stuff going on and stuff. So lots of composting, like Stefan. Compost, like I said, I use mostly horse manure, rabbit manure. That's not really the issue. I think holding water might be an issue. I think we got good nutrients. If we've seen how the tomatoes take off, but succeed where you can. ZPD is organizing heavily, getting mechanical things working. Yeah, ate all your preps. Yeah, that's funny. Minerals, yeah, for sure. But just having good solid manure and compost goes a long way. I don't overthink the whole phosphorus, magnesium. I just don't overthink it. I just I ain't got no time for that. But it does matter. Howie up there in BC, he grows some amazing stuff for his location. I mean, he's got a nice greenhouse and stuff. But Food Forests, FFP, he's definitely on point on his growing game, if you will. So that's the garden update. So yeah, the metals situation, if anybody's been paying attention, or if you haven't, I guess this would be kind of bringing up to speed. Uh, I'd predicted back, I don't know, was it early January, that I thought, silver would go above 30 and probably pull back to around 28 and be there for the year, and kind of ride that out, right? And then I was like, gold's going to hit that. It hit that all-time high, and then I thought, it'll pull back to around 2,200, but 2,000 is probably never going to happen again. And I said the same about silver for 25. And dang, was it Tuesday, Wednesday? Silver just bolted up like $2 in 12 hours or something. It was like between overnight trading and the next day, and the Fed said something, and it just went 33.85 or something crazy, spiked right up. Held it, didn't hit 34, I don't think. It may hit 34 somewhere, but not like I didn't notice it. And then it retreated sharply. I guess that was more than a week ago, because it retreated Wednesday and Thursday, back down to it touched like 30.90, and then back up above 31. So it seems like the floor is 31. Like that might be where everything, like it's not going to go below that. It's not 28, it's 31. It's like weird stuff happening. Like we talked about, don't fail to adapt to the circumstances as they are presented, because what we think is normal is definitely not normal anymore, with between the purposeful inflation, the digital assets that are continuing to get pumped out, just all the haywire stuff that goes on in Asia is just buying all the metals all the time, hand over fist. We talked about, India stopped exporting silver. India bought the most silver imports that they had ever bought in 1 month. Was it February or March? Just insane stuff going on in Asia that we don't see. It's kind of transparent to us. We had that Chinese New Year gold buying around the block in China. Like the middle class in China has really picked up its game. And then the central banks buying it all, that then nobody wants to talk about. We're getting into that cycle. Remember back in was it 2019? It was mostly 2019. All these CEOs started retiring, going into retirement from all these big companies. And it sounds like we're going into that phase again. Jamie Dimon's talking about retiring. The head villain, Emperor Klaus Schwab, is retiring from the WEF. Like all these bigwigs are starting to fade away, to hand it over to the new generation, maybe, or just I don't know what the strategy is, but it's kind of like we're going through another cycle of who's in charge, and it's hard to put a face on the problem when it continues to rotate like that. And most people don't know who those problem people are anyway. Nickel, what happens if all Indians, Chinese people buy 10 ounces of silver? Right, that's that's what 20 billion ounces, that's 60 billion ounces. If all Americans bought 10 ounces, it would be over. The shorts would be gone. You wouldn't be able to buy that much. There's not that much out there, really. There's not enough for every American to buy 10 ounces. That would be over 3 million ounces, or over, wait. There's 330, that'd be over 3 billion ounces just in America. That ain't happening. There's not that much commercial, physical available. So then all the shorts, all the markets, everybody closes their their positions in the paper market, and basically the paper market disappears because there's nothing to leverage, and it goes to totally what somebody's willing to pay you for it, what you're willing to trade for it. Right, truth. When CEOs step down, there's mass trouble. They're just getting out while it gets good. Scrap metal's way up, says 420. Yeah, copper, man. Copper was at 5. It touched 5 and backed off of that a little bit, but phew, yeah. Lance Corporal, what is up? Hope you had a good Memorial Day. You're enjoying it. Hope you're doing good. And again, if you missed the beginning, hope everybody has done their proper remembrance for those fallen and is, you know, considered what has been sacrificed, and let's don't waste that sacrifice. Don't let the powers that be waste it. Hey, V-Borg, what's going on? Shout out. So yeah, the whole commodity market. But while all these metals are doing that madness, what are gas prices doing? It's haywire psycho. I've been talking to Irish USMC vet, if you guys know who he is. Gas was actually going up over there the last couple weeks, like from 350 to 375 or something. It's going down here. We were at like 350 or 450 something, and we're down to almost $4. I think there's actually a couple places where you can get it $3.99 with cash, $3.98 with cash, $3.96, stuff like that. That's I mean, right going into Memorial Day weekend, big travel weekend, and gas is going down. That don't make no sense. And me and my buddy were talking about it. And we're like, yeah, somebody's trying to buy some votes. Trying to buy some votes. Yeah, that's what it seems like. I don't know if you guys are getting that wind. That storm overhead is kind of blowing by. 375 ZPD, yeah. 380, yeah. That sounds like a lot of what's going on out there in 316 chipper. Dang, that's a deal. I haven't seen 316. I haven't seen below 350 since 2019, probably. Yeah, probably not. There was definitely some below 3 when we did that drive. We went across the country, but not here in the northern Nevada area. You work nights? Lance Corporal veteran? Taco Monday? Or early Taco Tuesday? 291 in the Okie State, says V-Borg. That's amazing. But again, like all these commodities are having crazy spikes, and then gas, one of the most used commodities, and all the turmoil going on in the world, all this stuff, going on, wars, rumors of wars, and going into the summer driving season, and gas goes down. That don't make no sense. And I know they released some of the petroleum reserve, but it's not enough to make drop that like 50 cents. Petroleum reserve just prevents there from being shortages. They released a lot of it, but they're just releasing like 1 million barrels a day or whatever, like a drop in the bucket compared to consumption. So there's that to be on the lookout for, of what's going on with that agenda. We're just going to run out of gas. There's going to be a shortage and nobody's going to talk about it. I don't know. Hard to say on that end. Hey, we got Barry Wood. What's up, Barry? How's things up there in the Northwest? You got snow finally gone so you can plant? I was bragging on the garden earlier, or complaining about the garden, depending on how you want to look at it. But yeah, just continue to struggle to get some of these weeds out and stuff, which I'll continue here a little bit. So I'm not just totally sitting down there being lazy. 70 today where you are. Nice. Yeah, it's dang warm here. I think it was over 80. Probably our warmest day so far. And it's all good. Definitely big garden. And if this little shower blows through, which it's not, it's breaking up over, so that's usual. We're definitely in a dry slot area with the way afternoon thunderstorms roll through, just kind of blow over and break up right short of the pause here. And no grass. What do you mean? I got grass all over the place, Truth. You see all this mess? I got to get rid of it. I'm trying to keep it away from my plants. It's all grass just about. The struggle is real. Like, stay away from my garden. You got an overgrown hillside? Yeah. Well, there's definitely different levels of bad weed problems. Like, it's just bad. My problem is weeds only come up where you water, and you water where the plants are. You know, back there in the south and stuff, out there when you get east of Texas, it's like grass and weeds everywhere. You just got to clear it out, and usually you're good to go. But here, those weeds just soak up all the winter moisture and just wait and lurk, and they bam. As soon as you start watering something in the spring, and they keep coming. It's not like I pull the weeds and they stop. No, there's more seed in there for something somewhere, somehow. Just continuous. It's like the Chinese in the Korean War, just keep coming. Like, where are they all coming from? Still talking about computer recycling on there? What's going on here? I remember those videos you did, like, what was that? Like 2016, you had just piles of stuff in your backyard, 420? About 2016, 17? Putting in the work. £50. What is 50 pounds of computer RAM? How does that, like, is it functional? Like the memory is still functional or something, and somebody buys it to put into other products or something? How does that work? I guess it's worth your time if you're selling it. Oh. You talking about the gold in the computer RAM? Don't put red worms in your compost without a hard bottom, or they will invade your garden. Yeah, I haven't messed with worms. I try to keep any worms out of the area. I don't really have that problem. About every year, we'll get a cutworm that takes out a couple squash and a zucchini plant or something. But we don't do too bad because most all the compost and manure is all here. So it can come from wherever they make the alfalfa or hay that they eat, I guess, if we get any in. But it's not too bad. We do have those tomato worms, you know. They do, the moths come back and drop the larvae, and oh, can't turn there. Yeah, the diatomaceous earth is an excellent thing to keep a lot of bugs at bay. But really, I've worked with come to the point of I just use the tomato worms to feed the chickens. So it's not been so overwhelmingly bad that call in the reinforcements. So I just pick them off and use them for food. Oh, whoa, we gotta. Oh, somebody got Wayne's comment. All right, thank you. I just thought the ground how I got here is destroy the garden, right? Yeah, your ground. I had when I had the garden down below before we moved it up here. Of ground squirrels and a squirrel. There was a squirrel that would crawl over the fence from across the road, and I would see it just, and whenever you started planting, it would just pull out all the seed. I finally got that squared away. Good to see you, Wayne. Haven't talked to you in a minute. Stefan put some snakes. Why am I getting snakes in the garden? We have snakes though. I've shown those. Snakes are good at keeping the rattlers away and getting the mice. I guess they would keep the chipmunks away and stuff, but they've not been so much a problem. I've gotten better at putting the chicken wire up, keeping them at bay. And this new location up here, compared to the bottom location, it's just, I don't know, wherever the squirrels are located at, they don't like covering the range and distance. I don't think there's many on the neighboring property, and they have to cover a long dead zone, beaten zone, to put it in a military term, to get up here from the old pause, and without getting taken out by birds, chickens, ducks, dogs, whatever else wants to get them. So they've been pretty held at bay, as long with the rabbits. The rabbits haven't been too much of a problem since I've really got my chicken wire game on target, it seems like. Yeah, being busy, right, Wayne? Yeah, being busy. I think that's the consensus from everybody, which is good, because we should be doing all the things. It's hard to do all the things. Older and older. Squirrels hide out with binoculars. Yeah, when I had a metal bathtub down at that lower garden place, the first, I guess it was probably the second year, I can't remember, but it was really cool, or one of the first gardens we had. And I had a big thing of sunflower seeds that I just put in there. I was like, nothing can really get in here, it can't dig in here. That daggum squirrel was crawling up a pole and doing gymnastics to get in there and get seeds out. I saw him, because there was somebody ripped open the bag, and I was like, how is it getting in there? And it, like, I watched it. It, like, crawled over 2 different posts and up a T-post and over and jumped in and got what it could and got out. And it had been doing that for a while. I was like, my goodness, this guy's dedicated. I was like, who's that? Simone Biles, gymnast, like, giving her. ZPD's got deer fencing. Yeah, I don't have deer problems. The dogs are pretty good about keeping everything away. The coyotes have been kept at bay pretty good, so that's been a good achievement. What are we coating with Vaseline? Spent the day cutting up down trees from the storm. You got storm too, Wayne? Yeah. Tony was talking about the tornado hit his place of work, I guess, and pretty rough deal. Just like yesterday or last night, it just hit, so it's a rough go. He was good at his place, but yeah, lots of tornadoes out that way. You're gonna have to use a real perimeter, which is really expensive and time consuming. But I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there somewhere on it. I watched the Homestead Rescue. They would often, because they often did it in Alaska and places like that, and they were doing perimeter fencing for coops, to keep bears, mountain lions, and wolves out and stuff. So they had a couple good examples of like how they did the perimeter with wire or concrete or rock, just pouring rock in, big rock, obviously. to keep those big critters out. Who's selling deer meat? Talking about ZPD with his deer fencing? Getting some deer jerky? Oh, the clouds are just trying to hang out. See if we can get a shot of this. There's the, just breaks up right as it gets over. It's like darker back that way. It breaks up like as soon as it gets near my place. Tony knows the scene. We don't get much in the way of tornadoes here. We do get high winds though, as we have documented. Do you hear a donkey? No, there are no donkeys here. What you're hearing is geese probably. The geese were squawking a little bit, I think. That's the geese right there. I think they're fighting with the goats. They're arguing about something. No, we don't have a donkey. We're not gotten that crazy yet. Some people want a donkey and some people want a cow. And I'm like, nope. We ain't got no room for that. Don't have any pasture for a cow. Goodness. But, well, I think we might actually get a sprinkle here out of this. So I'm going to wrap it up. We're at almost 40 minutes. It's been good to check in. And do I hear a little thunder? Say a prayer for Tony and his folks and the people out there who did not come home. And prep hard, free.